2022 gave us a ton of amazing collectibles on the Veve app. As my last video of 2022, I wanted to take a look back at the top 10 collectibles that I think are grails inside the Veve app that we have at the moment. Please keep in mind that this top 10s list is only for collectibles and doesn't include comics. For more information about comics, please refer to my friend Comics and Crypto and Sleeping Comics. Now, this list is only for fun, in just my opinion, and by no means financial advice. I know a lot of people will say that I'm pumping my bags with this list. For transparency's sake, I do own all these collectibles, so sit back and enjoy the list. So coming in at number 10 is Disney Princess Elsa. With her first appearance in the movie Frozen in 2013, this Disney princess took the world by storm, releasing in the first Golden Moments week alongside the Mickey Sorcerer Hat, squeaking in at number 10 due to the fact that Frozen is so wildly successful. I believe that since she is the first Disney princess on the app, her value will only go up over time. The details and effects that they put into this Golden Moments is truly remarkable. In terms of popularity by today's standards, Elsa is by far the most popular Disney princess by far, seeing as how Frozen 2 broke $1.4 billion at the box office and is now the highest grossing animated movie of all time. I believe that as this next generation of girls grow up and NFTs become what I believe they will be, Elsa will be at the top of a lot of collectors' lists. There are a lot of great collectibles on this list, and being at number 10 is no small feat. She currently has 12,333 editions, which at this point in time does work against her due to the amount of real collectors that we have on the app, but as time passes and more collectibles start to come out, as Veve grows, this is definitely a collectible to keep your eyes on. So moving on to number 9, we have R2-D2, hitting the big screen in 1977. This character also came out during the first week of the Golden Moments. It was the first appearance of Star Wars alongside C-3PO, but I would put R2-D2 over C-3PO for the number 9 spot, due to the fact that he's a fan favorite. I believe that if you ask any Star Wars fan to compile a top 10 list of their favorite characters on Star Wars, it would be hard for anyone to exclude R2-D2. He's a beloved droid that's super iconic that always shows up at the right time to rescue his friends. In June of 2017, we had an auction for the R2-D2 droid from the films. It stood 43 inches and sold for an astounding $2.76 million, making this the most expensive Star Wars memorabilia ever sold at the time, with 8,333 editions on the app. Again, this being pretty high for the amount of collectors that are on the app at the moment. I see this, however, as a collectible that is a must-have for any Star Wars collector that joins the app. The first appearance of Star Wars and the droid that everyone loves, all wrapped up into one collectible. So coming in at number 8, we have Eduardo Riso Batman. Eduardo Riso is a DC comic book artist who won the 2001 Eisner Award for the Best Serialized Story and 2022 Harvey Awards for Best Artist and Best Series. His design of Batman comes in at number 8. This is due to the fact that he's the first ultra rare that appears on the Veve app. This means that for the very first set, the black and white Batman series number 1, only 1,750 people can ever own this set. As collectibles go, we know how important owning the first of something is and what type of value that draws down the line. This collectible will always be sought after by collectors for years to come, especially going forward as we start to get more and more of the black and white series. For example, owning all 100 black and white Batman series collectibles in real life is almost impossible due to the fact that a lot of these never hit the market. There is said to only be a handful of completed sets in real life. I believe that will also be true for the digital, with Riso being the gatekeeper to why people can't finish the entire set. So moving on to number 7, we have Steamboat Willie. This character was first unveiled in 1928. So when you think of Disney, you think of the mouse. Like their famous tagline goes, it all started with a mouse. This is the genesis of Disney, the beginning of what we know Disney to be today. The reason why I don't have Steamboat Willie higher up on the list is because it is missing the first appearance tag. But this mouse is so iconic, you hear his whistle at the beginning of every Disney film. With him being almost 100 years old, up until this point we've only seen him in a 2D format. Veve is the first rendition of Steamboat Willie as a 3D asset ever. Alongside that, we did get an animation and music added as well. This skyrockets how special this collectible really is. Even without the first appearance tag, this collectible is still a huge piece for collectors. With just under 7,000 editions, this is a must-have for any Disney fan, especially since we recently got the All Aboard Mickey collection set. This set is said to be the finale of the Mickey collection, alongside the Steamboat Willie set, the Sorcerer Mickey set, the Orchestra Mickey set, wrapping it all up, the All Aboard Mickey set. This means that Veve won't be releasing any more Mickeys into the collection down the road, which should retain value for all the Mickey sets that we already have. And this brings even more value to Steamboat Willie, as it was the first out of these 4 sets. Moving into number 6, we have Superman. Now when I say Superman, everyone should know who that is. Making his debut in comic book format in June of 1938 in the book Action Comics number 1, I would say that Superman is the most recognized superhero in the world. He paved the way for all superheroes that we know and love today. With Action Comics number 1 and Superman number 1 being among the 2 most expensive comic books ever sold, it's hard to not have Superman be this high up on the list when it comes to Veve collectibles. The first appearance that we got on app was a rendition by Kenneth Rocafort in the form of the Man of Steel statue. As the first superhero and leader of the Justice League, Superman is timeless. With a solo release as his first appearance on the app at 8,888 editions, he comes in at number 6. He would have come in a lot higher on this list if it weren't for DC movies performing poorly at the box office. At the time of recording this, Henry Cavill has been released from his role as Superman. and DC is going through an entire DC Universe revamp. But regardless of that, if you love superheroes, you'll want this guy in your vault. The red, yellow, and blue are iconic. Now we move into our top 5, and kicking it off at number 5 is Darth Vader. We have what I would argue to be the most recognized and most popular villain of all time in Darth Vader. When I mentioned R2-D2 earlier being on a lot of people's top 10 list, I would imagine that a lot of people have Darth Vader as their number 1. With Darth Vader's first movie appearance in 1977, everyone knows the iconic breathing that Darth Vader does. The bone-chilling sound that you hear right before he comes into a room and decimates everyone. Veve took time to add on the breathing and the force into the Veve collectible of Darth Vader. With his first appearance ultra rare on the Veve app at 5,977 editions, this collectible will be on a lot of fans' list as the top Star Wars collectible to own in the future. So moving into number 4, we have Todd McFarlane Batman. This collectible is the genesis of the entire Veve app. With the first edition real-life statue being released in July of 2020, this collectible will be sought after by everyone on the Veve app. It has 7,500 editions and was the common in the black and white Batman series. This collectible caused a lot of people to go out and buy the physical statue. It also rose the price of the Batman comic $423 to thousands of dollars for the 9.8. Todd McFarlane is a really well-respected artist in the comic book world, and now he has his own NFT platform. With the millions of collectibles that we have on Veve and the millions that we will get, and Todd McFarlane's NFT platform included, the Todd McFarlane Batman will always be the first NFT by Todd. With a lot of the supply in the hands of early adopters and whales that believe in the value of this NFT long term. If you believe in Veve and everything to come, the Todd McFarlane Batman is a collectible that you need to have in your vault if history is what you collect. Now moving into our top 3. Now this one was hard. I went back and forth numerous times on how I wanted to rank these top 3, but ended up with number 3 being Miles Morales Secret Rare. This variant of Spider-Man has grown insanely in the last couple of years. With films like Into the Spider-Verse and teasers of him entering the MCU, this collectible hits every box when it comes to scarcity and popularity. If you ask a lot of the kids today, they know him as their main Spider-Man. With movies like Into the Spider-Verse being a box office hit grossing $375 million and a second movie coming out in 2023, this character's fan base only continues to grow. His first appearance comic book debuting in 2011, Ultimate Fallout 4 is a relatively new release. But with that being said, the 9.8 is already going for thousands of dollars, even though the comic book is on the newer end. And on top of all that, I think a lot of you would agree with me that the Miles Morales Secret Rare collectible on the app has one of the best animations and the most detail that we've seen on the app so far. It also has the scarcity sitting at only 250 editions, with Marvel and Veve holding back 90. That means that there are only 160 that are in circulating supply at the moment, which makes it insanely scarce. I would argue that this collectible will be a holy grail in the future. As Miles continues to play a larger role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this collectible has everything going for it, and any Spider-Man fan would go crazy for this collectible. Now before I get into number 1 and 2, I want to put forward an honorable mention, that being the Veve golden logo. I can't have it on my top 10s list, but this is the first collectible that you could only get by being physically handed it by the CEOs of Veve. We know that there were a lot of NFTs that were free, like CryptoKitties and CryptoPunks, that turned out to be worth millions. I believe that as Veve grows and becomes more successful, the Veve logo will be a symbol of the app's success. Not to mention that we will continue to see support in the form of utility from the team. With that being said, Veve is still in its early stages. I can only have this collectible in honorable mention. So moving into number 2, I have Walt and Mickey, the partner statue. This iconic statue of Disney and the mouse is the first thing you'll see before entering any Disney theme park. If Mickey is the genesis when it comes to Disney, then Walt is the most important person when it comes to Disney. Born in 1901, his imagination and creativity is the reason we have Disney today. He has created one of the most beloved brands ever and has given us a sense of magic when we go to visit these Disney parks. Disney continues to innovate in the way that it engages with its customers every day, and lately they entered the NFT space. With the grand finale of the first week of the Golden Moments, we got the partner statue. Everyone went crazy when this collectible was announced, and even at 4,333 mint, the all-time high that people were paying for this grail was $40,000 to $50,000. If you want something that represents the heart and soul of Disney, look no further than the Walt and Mickey statue. With it also stealing the first appearance label from Steamboat Willie, this is the absolute pinnacle for a must-have collectible when it comes to being a Disney fan. So moving into number 1, we have Secret Rare Spider-Man. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, Peter Parker. This is indisputably my number 1 pick when it comes to the best grail on the app. He's the most iconic, most popular, most recognized superhero in the entire world, and it's not even close. Every kid wants to be him, and his popularity only continues to grow, as the most recent trilogy of films from the Spider-Man series grossed close to $2 billion for Marvel. It's no surprise to see him at number 1. With his first appearance in August of 1962 in Amazing Fantasy 15, he has continued to retain his popularity since his release. That comic this year had a record-breaking sale of $3.6 million, and with the collectible sitting at only 1,000 copies, this animated web shooter is super scarce as well. The cool thing about Spider-Man is I remember seeing an interview with Stan Lee, and he said that no matter what skin color you are, no matter what gender you are, anyone can be Spider-Man. And I think that really rings true to a lot of people, and I think that's why he holds his title for one of the most popular superheroes of all time. The most popular superhero of all time's first appearance on the blockchain. Not only that, but he was also the first officially licensed Marvel NFT to ever hit the blockchain as well. I remember how exciting it was when it was unveiled, and I do believe he will be difficult to dethrone. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and my top 10 list. Again, this is just my opinion, and things will definitely change as we get more and more collectibles. Some of these collectibles will get booted out of the top 10. But let me know, do you agree with my top 10 list? If not, what's yours? And if you haven't already, make sure you check out my last video on what I'm most excited for in 2023 when it comes to Veve. With that being said, Happy New Year's to everyone. I hope you guys have an amazing 2023. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next year. Peace out.